is James, and let me turn this down real quick. And I'm here to show off my map for my assignment. So far it's just a base design. I'm also going to be showing off some of the little tech features in the game as well. And auto exposure is terrible. Right now, yep, armor's working, and so is health. I forgot to put something in to actually kind of like spawn health, but if we get hit a bit here, we'll start losing health slowly. The rocket turret earlier did manage to take down all my armor first, before it starts taking down health, which is pretty cool. I'll show you that code in a minute. Yeah, as you can see, it takes down health. And then, I've not put in any quests yet, because I'm going to be making most of the quests related to killing various enemies. But for the map, I kind of designed it to resemble rooms in some way, so there'll be various stuff throughout the different areas that kind of resemble doorways in some way. The map does feature various different kinds of cacti and even some bits of rubble and debris, and I have painted it a bit as well, but I also sculpted the ground as well, so that way there'd be a lot of like different bumps all over the place, almost like an all-terrain kind of area. Although I do feel like I need to work on some of the bits, since they seem to be raised a bit too high. And yeah, there's a doorway here. As per my design, I did say I would feature some doorways. That was before that's before I saw that this would be based in the level. Bit of an odd thing there. Didn't know you could clip through them. I'm gonna have to sort that out. But technically this is 3 levels in 1 level, since the more you go, as per my design instructions, it goes up in levels, like in height pretty much. So this area would be a ground level area, and if I stop crashing into my own creation. But yeah, at the end of each of the areas there's a ramp going up to the next bit. I think it's over here. I also did this because I wanted to introduce a new weapon each level, kind of. So you'll pick up your next weapon in the first area here, and you'll pick up the last weapon in the second area, and the third area is really small but has one really large room. Yeah, I believe the ramp's here, so we start going up here. And then we're in the next area. There is a bit more to that first area as well. I do kind of want to include some actual barricades or doors to prevent the player from proceeding into these next areas until they have cleared out the first one, or the one they are currently in. Because otherwise the player will be missing out on content and may even be skipping some of the weapon pickups. So it will include various objectives to make sure they've accomplished that. I do kind of want to try and tie the doors into the actual quest as well, so when a certain quest handler is completed instead of a go-to marker with the objective to, well, instead of a go-to marker that actually lets you complete the level, it would be a door, so you can move on to the next stage. Excuse me a minute. But yeah, for the most part, I need to turn off auto exposure somehow. I'll ask my lecturers about that when I get to it. But yeah, as you can see, I've tried to include a bit of architecture to the level by, again, the different leveling to the ground. The addition of rubble and some debris somewhere, and even some varying sets of cacti. But as we did see earlier as well, there's some sets of ruins as well. Also, you may not be able to see it, but on the outskirts of the level there are pyramids as well. I have included 3 pyramids in this level and 2 obelisks. Well, 3 obelisks actually. One of them is in a pretty cool place. Here's an example of some of the ruins now, to which, for some reason, we can go inside of. I'll see if I can change that to an actual physical object. I think there's an obelisk somewhere around here. No. And this is the bad camera. But I do kind of like the idea of that as well. And the player should not be able to progress up the walls here either. Unless there are some areas that are a bit less steeper than that. Which I would not like to find out. But in the event I do, they will be fixed immediately. But the basis of this ground was originally to be a kind of training ground, which it still is. But it's in like a isolated area. These ruins having no sort of like historical value at all. In fact, they are props. But they are embedded within the sand and everything, just to kind of look like an actual combat environment. Say if they were fighting in Egypt or something, and say there was some religious war going on and you were called to the front lines. Story of the game is, well, story of the character is, you're testing, like a testing agent, but one of the armies being wiped out, and this prototype tank is being called to combat, which is bad because there are no combatants that are actually trained in using the tank in the first place, to which you are the only one able to pilot the tank. So you are promoted and then thrown into the front line of combat. And so that is pretty much it. As for navigating the map, it is a bit hard, a bit complicated. I'm gonna try and pan out the camera a bit more as well, so the tank will be a bit small and enemies will be a bit small as well, but the level will work. And I don't want to kind of change the size of the level either, because in my level design I have specified that I'm going to have a few enemies in each area, and in the second area there are a few different types of enemies, and I used sections to kind of bring out these borders. So it's kind of like a grid space. So typically each room is a 2x2 grid. Doorways are simply 1x1. There are some long rooms as well, which are a 5x2. And the room at the end is a 5x5. And I wanted to really try and utilize that space as much as I possibly can. See if we can go up this wall. No, we cannot. This is good news. unless I find out that I'm actually going up the wall more and more, which I shouldn't, but I'm gonna actually see if I can keep going higher up, because this will tell me I'll need to fix the level, and I am pretty much out, which is not good news. Yeah, I'm out. That's not good at all. But I think I found which way I'm supposed to be going as well. There should be a few objects on the outskirts of the map as well, so yeah, here's a house. Anyway, let's drop back into the level real quick. I do think movement is actually quite limited when you're even outside the map as well. Let's just go this way, because we should be coming up on the ramp to the next stage. There we go. Yeah, as you can kind of tell as well, the floor for the ramps are just straight up sand instead of the different kind of rock. That's because when you paint the ramps and they're at an angle a bit, then they start to kind of resemble the texture on the walls, which I did not want. Because otherwise it makes it seem like you're going outside of the level if you go up the ramps. So we'll keep going this way. And then this is the final area for now. I will be adding enemies. I will be seeing if I can do anything to make navigation through the map much easier. Maybe, say, a mini-map kind of objective. So I could include an extra camera or something. Oh, we'll see. I'll see what I can do. It's going to be a bit difficult, but I'll do some research into it at the time, if I can't find any other reason or any other solution to this issue. But that's it for now, and I look forward to finding out what's going to be in assignment 4. I'll also load up the code for the tank, show you what it is. Yep. Okay, so from this it takes the damage, I believe, from the normal modify armor. Yeah, so when the tank takes damage, it will go straight into the... It will go straight to modify armor first, which will check it all, take away damage from the armor equivalent to the damage taken, and then it will actually keep an overflow remainder to head over to the modify health. So even in the event that our armor runs out, I believe it will take the rest of the armor before actually dealing damage to the health, which is nice. Make use of what you've got. And when it goes into the health, it will actually subtract from the existing health value, much like the armor, but upon losing all the health, they'll die. Although I believe, yeah, I don't think that's supposed to be that, but either way. That's it for now. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to making another video like this.